So, who's hosting? Okay.
Okay. Hi, it's Norman Kosnick. He'll be hosting, Keshav, from Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kosnick. Upon saying he was in fact a collaborating co-host who was sharing platforms. She'll be here shortly. Who's having a problem with the laptop, she just said to me. But I have been joined by three lovely guests. In fact, Keshav and I were on together, at the crack of dawn here in Australia, after we had our Anzac Day celebrations here in Australia, which is a day where we celebrate those who went through wars in the past. And we were on Coogee Beach and we had an amazing time meeting some amazing people. So that was one. So say hello, our resident anthem writer and very much a cricket tragic and expert. Amanda Hayden has also joined us. Now she's come on from the Barrett Army, but more importantly, she's come on as our RCB expert. Well, maybe not an expert today because your team lost, but that's nothing. And we have last but not least, the very good-looking, dapper man, Debash Sen, with his leopard skin seat that he's sitting on behind him. Amazing. Very much in fashion. All right, guys, let's get straight to it. We've had a double header here. In my pre-show, we had Monty Panesar and Ayesh Tekar talking about the events of today. And there was a lot of discussion in that about Maxwell. Now, Glenn Maxwell didn't perform perhaps as well as he should say, but RCB in general were quite well off, weren't they? What's your thoughts on RCB today? Amanda,
yeah. Honestly, there had to be a bump on the road. If 5 wins in a row is too much to ask. But and it's against a top quality side like CSK, right? And we all know what they're capable of. We were completely outplayed by Jadeja today. I think he won. He bagged almost every award in the presentation ceremony. He took 3 wickets. He scored 37 runs in a single over. He got Dan Christian run out. So it was a complete all-round performance. That is a quality all-rounder. So I think, honestly, I feel like even though that last over that went for 37 runs, I don't think it was bad bowling by RCB. I think it was just an exceptional performance by Jadeja. So I sort of feel like the pressure sort of got to RCB because of that last over. Because, from going, I need to do the math. Okay, well, they scored 190 and 37 runs of the last over.
154. 154.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like RCB were at a really good stage, and honestly, if it wasn't for that last over, I feel like that they would have easily won that game.
Look, again, the first match is significant, especially from the position of the way that. Have you got 2 speakers on, someone? Can I hear my voice repeating itself? Maybe not. Okay. But the reality is the first match was a bit of a shock to my system because I thought RCB was going to win it relatively well. But again, it just seems to be that there's something about this tournament that keeps surprising us. Would you agree? There's always a surprise. When a panelist group of 4 or 5 people all think that one team's going to win, they don't. It's happened too frequently. In the second match, I would have thought Delhi Capitals would win easily, but they didn't. They struggled somewhat. And SRH, despite being rather cumbersome, almost got away with it. SRH, of course, SRH certainly should be looking at the captaincy of Warner. Warner actually picked himself for that super over when he shouldn't have. Williamson and Bairstow should have been picked for that final over. They were the right batsman to bat. Warner proved he's not in form. And they only got a measly, 6 or 7 runs, which is awful for a super over. There's some serious concerns about Warner's captaincy. And we talked earlier on another show about the relationship to non-Indian players and being captain. Because when you're captain, you don't get dropped, do you? So you're actually occupying a position where you shouldn't. All right. Is there a bit of, am I hearing some feedback?
Yeah, I think it's from Amanda, if she can mute herself.
Oh.
Is it better? Yeah.
Yeah, man, only do that when you're not speaking, of course. Okay. So, Rishabh Pant's team probably stumbled around quite a bit. They probably should have won more convincingly, but still, they continued to win matches, and that's significant. I think that's really significant. The team that's struggling and just stumbling around but gets away with victories, when they get their act together towards the end when it counts is when it really will show. RCB were going along too smoothly. They've had a bump on the road, as Amanda said. Ultimately, RCB are going to figure in that top 8, or that top 4 at least. In fact, in the top 3 at the moment, because the top 3 have got a 2-point buffer. So it's quite a significant. Mumbai Indians have been quietly not playing that well. Nobody's talking about them. We know they're going to come towards the end, as they've done in previous years. But I think the top 4 is even more settled as it goes on. I'm a bit surprised with KKR and SRH being the bottom 2. I was expecting Punjab Kings and obviously Rajasthan Royals to be in those positions, but they've got away with a few wins. But I think that's the bottom 4 without a doubt. What's your thoughts, Keshav?
I thought RCB was in the game for the first 19 overs of the game, and then that unbelievable thing happened, and you can't really judge Harshal Patel based on that one bad over, because before this, he still holds the purple cap. Don't forget, he got 3 wickets today as well. So, but since the time RCB has moved out of Chennai, he has gone for a few runs. Like I think he has given 97 in 8 overs. Although he picked up wickets as well, but he has been expensive. So that's one area that they'll probably look into. Because if he starts going for runs now, then once again, the old issues would come up again, like who's going to bowl at death. So that's one issue. And the other one I've been talking about for a very long time now, that why on earth are they wasting the number 3 position on bits and pieces batsmen? They have tried Shahbaz Ahmed, they have tried Rajat Patidar, they have tried Washington Sundar. If at all they have to try somebody else in that position, and they are so rigid and adamant on playing Maxwell and AB at 4 and 5, then why not try a proper batsman, who could actually utilize the number 3 position, or maybe open with Azharuddin and put Virat back at 3. So, because if you're not playing a good enough batsman at 3, then he'll anyway end up wasting a lot of deliveries, or he'll get out early. So technically, in a way, Maxwell would still be coming almost like a 1-down position. So this theory of, your best batsman playing as many deliveries as possible in a 120 ball game, that comes into play, right? So I think RCB has to look into it. Today, actually, they played one less batsman as well, because their tail was kind of a longer one. If you compare it with the other teams, I mean, you can't really compare with Chennai. They bat all the way down to 11. So great day for Chennai, great day for Jadeja. Anything he touched today, changed into gold, and it's a game that players actually dream of. I mean, batting, bowling, fielding, everything just came off for him. There were tweets on Twitter that the only thing left for Jadeja to do is now cure coronavirus. I mean, he had that kind of a day.
Look, Jadeja is such a special talent. I think he is actually very underrated. We tend to not see him as one of the best all-rounders in the world when he, in fact, is. And the word all-rounder is very interesting. People often, they're calling wicket-keepers all-rounders. Like Punt is called an all-rounder, but that's not the right way of saying it. Punt's not an all-rounder, but Jadeja is. Because not only is he bat and bowl, his fielding's amazing, plus he has the potential to be a great captain. The man is incredible. He knows his limitations, though. He knows his limitations. He knows how good he can play and where he can use his skills best, and he does it to the maximum use. He's batting, what did he get? 60 odd of 28 deliveries today? Amazing.
Yeah, and the thing with the Jadeja is the way he has been groomed under Dhoni for so long, since he became a part of CSK. Credit to him, how he has groomed him up, not just as a all-rounder, but also, it's a very important role in CSK that he's playing, and is, supposed to play in the future once Dhoni is retired, because that whole finisher batsman role in CSK Once Dhoni is gone, that will leave a huge void to fill. So I think Jadeja going forward will be that guy for CSK, the go-to guy for the next 3-4 years at least, alongside Sam Curran maybe.
Absolutely. In fact, CSK didn't need the services of some of their other players. It was all up to Jadeja. I said in the early part of this tournament, including the likes of Chris Vernon, who's also a very good English analysis, we were looking at CSK hugging the bottom of the table. And they've done the complete opposite. Not only are they leading the competition at the moment, their run rate, their net run rate is 1.6. It's phenomenal. It is way above. I mean, even I think Delhi's got RCB's got 0.09 or something. They're awful comparatively. And they've been winning games which are rather close. Really, CSK are starting to become very firm favourites. Slowly but surely, they position themselves to be favourites. But
I think one main reason, just to add on to it quickly, since I'm a CSK fan, and I think the one thing that I noticed, which was very much visible, if you compare last season, which was our worst season in all the IPL history, if you compare it with 2020, the one visible change has been the change in approach. Because if you see in 2020, Faf and Watson or Faf and Gaikwad, they would be very conservative in the power play. But this time you see a bit more intent in the way Faf is playing, and then Moeen Ali has given us a huge boost at number 3. So now they've understood that you cannot be playing the 5-6 years old outdated blueprint of white ball cricket. So they're probably they'll probably try to reciprocate something what England does in international arena, because they also bat so deep, so they are not afraid of going bang bang from ball 1 because they know how many batsmen are left in the tank. So I think the change in approach is paying off for CSK.
Absolutely. Look, where do I start with CSK? Didn't have Moeen Ali's services today, which should have been a body blow. I actually predicted based on that they would lose more dramatically. But in fact, they did the opposite. Moeen Ali is apparently back next game, by the way. Whatever he had was only either a niggle or maybe something otherwise related. We're not sure, we're not told, but he's back next game. Really, it's quite phenomenal the way they're playing. Faf du Plessis has found another level. I don't think he's been playing that well at all. In fact, I had some serious doubts whether he should play in the team at all this season. But yet again, he's proven himself. So it's hard to see. The more you see this tournament, the more I'm worried about CSK. Worried in terms of you're a Delhi Capitals fan, or in the case of Amanda, an RCB fan, you are an RCB fan, of course, aren't you? Man, you can talk. You can get yourself off mute now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's just such a sad day for me. But I feel like Keshav said something about Virat probably batting at number 3. I feel like Virat should just stay an opener because it's not that like the best batsman faces like the most amount of balls. It's just I think Virat opening it. I think I said this on the pre-show, but Virat opening gives him that time for him to suddenly switch gears. So he starts off slow, batting at a strike rate about 100, like a run a ball, and he basically his batting partner usually takes responsibility, as we saw in the previous match with against Rajasthan. So Devdutt actually started hitting from ball number 1 because he took a little pressure off of Virat and gave him that time to start, and then Virat started hitting. So I feel like he should stay at that number 1 position because Virat has done the best during every time he's open. And also in 2016, he decided to open the innings and he ended up scoring 4 centuries in a season. So I think he should stick with that position. And in the case of like the number 3 position, instead of putting someone like Shahbaz or Washington Sundar, they should try bringing in Dan Christian. I think that should be an option because we've seen Dan so far, he hasn't done the best. I think that catch sort of lost us the game.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock. I praised him before the match and that he was catching and then he drops one.
Yeah, I mean, we all know him to be a really, really good fielder. And dropping a sitter was just not it.
Why not? Why not bring in Finn Allen at three? Maybe.
They
Who?
could actually. That's Finn Allen. He's a replacement for one of the previous players. They could, but I feel like they're concentrating a bit more on their bowling because the batting hasn't let us down too much. But of course, I'm not a part of the RCB management. Hopefully, they realize, that they should bring in another batsman into the team because I feel like our bowling has been. Honestly, I think RCB has a really good balance this year. We've been doing well in both the areas, but in the case of this match, we definitely have to work on our batting and just getting an extra because I think we have only five batsmen. Yeah, and we've got four people who could actually take away the game, but after that, our batting's over. Like once AB got out, and then Dan got out, and it was game over for us.
See,
But in the
But,
case,
but
even
quite
though
yeah,
quickly,
yeah,
quite quickly out here, Patakal, 34 or 15 deliveries. Now, if he didn't get out, who knows what he would have got? He looked like he was again in tremendous form.
yeah, but Norman, my point is, even though CSK got 191, and then RCB still got off to a really good start. I think they were 44 in 3 overs. But the thing is, today I thought, it was Dhoni's pitch reading that actually changed the game because at the toss he said we are electing to bat first because I feel the spinners will come into the game in the second innings. And in the first 3 overs, if you see, Padikkal actually attacked the Pacers. So once Dhoni got in, people like Imran Tahir and Jadeja, so it became a bit difficult to bat. So maybe I think Kohli didn't read the pitch well because he played like five seamers and he dropped Shahbaz Ahmed on that pitch. So
yeah.
probably five seamers were a bit too much on this pitch.
It is absolutely, and honestly, but I don't. Yeah, he didn't read the pitch right, but honestly, it's Wankhede, right? So I think
But a
it's
day game,
somewhat,
it was a
but
day
a
game.
day game. It was a day game, yeah. That was another factor. But usually at the Wankhede, I think the Pacers get a little bit of an advantage. But again, of course, being a day game, I feel like they should have kept Shahbaz instead of Saini or anything
And
like that.
I saw a very interesting stat today that it's the first time ever that a captain won the toss and batted first in a day game at 1K ever.
The first time ever. I thought
Yeah,
it was
that's what I
2000.
read.
Really? Okay. But there's certainly been times where they've done that, but it may have been a night game. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I think Amrish is a regular on our fan list. I don't think this is RCB's batting and it needs any beefing up. This was a one-off. I think that's a fair. It's a fair comment.
It's a fair comment, but I think these one-off might repeat if they don't get the selection right. I mean, if they have to avoid these one-offs, then they have to get the number three thing sorted out, and also the 11 because I thought today they played one batsman less and one seamer too many.
Do I need to welcome Aparna, Saini? How are you?
Hello. I should welcome you. I'm always late, fashionably late, I think. I think that's a good superstition to have. Where's Devasis? I've got new faces here and our old friends. Where are they?
Well, DeBastis has gone off to an emergency. He was online, but has gone off to an emergency. That other backstage thing, do I click on that or leave that alone? I'll leave that alone?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. The reality is, just for the sake of both Amanda and Kesha, now, Aparna is a seasoned commentating veteran now after her period of time, and she's now hosting her own platform, which is going gangbusters, and she's also a special host on the show, and she's now come on air fashionably late to actually host the show. So I'll hand it over to you, and you can get your lovely guests to introduce themselves to you.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll do a patent introduction. So, hello, namaskar, I'm Aparna Seni, and you are watching today's double header. Actually, before we start, Rajasthan Royals versus Kolkata Knight Riders, and who can forget what Jadeja did? But let me welcome you with our co-host, lovely Norman, with 58% beauty voters.
Yeah, Amanda, you don't know about it, but I ran a poll, which I must, and everybody reckons I rigged or actually doctored, but I had all these girls and me, and I said, who's the prettiest? And I won. I had 58%. So
Yes, and he is the man behind the mind of this show and given me lovely opportunity and bring out this idea, and it's been a great effort by him and has been very successful. We have got so much love out there from just this platform. We've done some AVP news, Sky News, Extra Time together, and Sports Duck. Before we could have gone on there together, the series was over. So we're waiting for World Cup for that one. Plenty more to go. Mr. Norman Korchenak. He's been a great person who has started this initiative.
thank you.
And I can see two lovely people here, new faces. So I'll leave that up to you. I can't see your names as well on the screen.
Okay, Amanda, introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Amanda Hayden. I am a huge RCB fan, as you can see with my background, and I'm also an expert panelist on a couple of other shows. I'm still a student. I am in the 12th standard, and I'm 17 years old, and I absolutely love cricket. I've been watching it almost my whole life. And yeah, and I just love talking cricket, so I'm so happy I'm here.
That's great. So what part of India are you in?
I'm from Bangalore.
Bangalore, of course, sorry. Well, Debashish is in Kolkata, but he supports Chennai, so you never know these days. What about you, sir?
I'm Keshav. I'm actually from Delhi, but I stay in Mumbai and I support CSK as well. So there's like trilingual kind of a connection over there. But I'm primarily a musician, and I've been on Norman's stream for a couple of times, and this is the third time. And yeah, so it's been fun so far, and looking forward to discussing the two games tonight.
And he's a gun musician. He's written songs, and I actually sang a bit yesterday, and he played all like John Lennon's songs. What was the other song you played?
Imagine.
And Amanda will get you to do some singing later. We'll see how you go.
We did Imagine and Yellow by Coldplay.
Yeah, right.
And it's really funny. We put our own words to it. It was so much fun. So we'll get you.
Where is it? Can I see it?
Here.
No, we performed it live on the stream yesterday, and so Norman also sang, and there was a comment that I want my money back.
Did you get it? Did you get your money back?
Oh, don't start. Let's move on to the cricket. What are we talking about?
Yes, exactly. I've been waiting for someone to say this. So today it's just me, Norman, and two lovely people out here. So heartily a warm welcome to our viewers. What a match! I'll start with Norman. You tell me, what do you think about Jadeja's? I remember you messaging me in the middle. Oh my God, did you see that? So obviously we're very excited to start with you with that first question. What do you think? What's your comments on how beautifully he played today? And Maxwell, the informed player for RCB, was off with a couple of boundaries, but Jadeja was too hot to handle for him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed with Maxwell, but at the same time I was very impressed with Jadeja. He is clearly the best all-rounder in the world at the moment. I think no one can doubt that. There's been plenty of people that aren't satisfied to say that he is the best all-rounder, but he is. He's proven time and time again he can win the match with the bat, the ball, his fielding alone, and even the form of leadership qualities as a captain as well. And he will probably be the CSK follow-up captain to Dhoni in the years that are going to pass for some 3 or 4 seasons. I think the reality is that Jadeja, having come back from an injury, seems like he hasn't missed a beat. The man is supremely fit, but also not physically fit. He's also mentally fit, and that's his asset. That he can bowl those incredibly steady left-arm deliveries. And how many wickets? He's got well over 200 Test wickets. He's proven himself time and time again. He and Ashwin are the lead Test bowlers, as in spinners. But I'd say that Jadeja is the lead bowler for the shorter format as well. Over to you,
Certainly. What was your name? Again, sorry, I didn't get it. You should have the names on the screen. We didn't get it. It'll take me a while before I get on him.
You have to deselect this comment so that our names would be visible.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Norman can do that.
That's my
Sorry
fault.
about
My
it.
fault. There we go.
Yeah, Keshav.
Yeah. So we talked about it briefly, I think, before you joined. So my point was until 19th over, RCB was well in the game. And it was one freak over 37 or 6 balls. Only Sir Jadeja can do something like that. And with RCB, I think it's another thing. I mean, if you remember, Amanda, that there was a game in 2014 or 15 when RP Singh was bowling to Jadeja, and we needed 15-16 of the last over, and there was 6 required of 1 ball or 5 required of 1 ball. And RP Singh bowled a no ball and Jadeja hit a 6 on it. So we won with the ball to spare. So with RCB, we have these kind of games which actually hurt them a bit more than usual. There was a game where Albie Morkel actually hit Virat Kohli for 28 runs. Even when CSK got 191, RCB was still in the game. 3 overs, 44. They got off to a really good start. But I think it was Dhoni's reading of the pitch and the game that got them back, because at the toss, Dhoni said that, I think it would spin in the second half of the game, and that's why we have brought in Imran Tahir, and that's why we are batting first, which happened for the very first time at Wankhede in a day game. So I think it was Dhoni's reading of pitch that actually probably, for me was the difference, and that's what decided the game. Kohli didn't read the pitch well. He selected 5 seamers on that pitch.
Absolutely. Well, he's been an all-rounder. He's been done so great in his career, even in international cricket to IPL, what we watched today. What's your call on that, Amanda? Is that right? Yeah.
Honestly, as an RCB fan, I've been really, really upset the whole day. But I think, hats off to Jadeja. Honestly, he's just making life easier for the Indian selectors. Ahead of the World T20, I think he's getting a guaranteed spot for sure, especially after this performance. A complete all-round performance, and that's what you call an all-rounder: scoring 60-odd runs, taking 3 wickets, getting someone run out. That is what an all-rounder is supposed to do, and I think he's proved himself. And and again, we spoke about it earlier. Jadeja had completely changed the game, taken away the game from RCB. We were in the game, like Keshav said, until the 19th over. But again, can't blame Harshal Patel for that 1 over, because it was honestly just Jadeja just doing what he does best. And Harshal has been really, really good with the ball. I mean, taking 5 wickets against Mumbai. If you get out key batsmen like Ishan, Hardik, Krunal, Pollard, I mean that's just quality bowling right there. And then when you take wickets against key batsmen from Kolkata and Sunrisers, honestly, I wouldn't blame Harshal Patel at all, because he's a really, really good bowler. Currently holds a purple cap, and even before that one crazy last over, he did take 2 set batsmen and completely changed the game. But unfortunately, Jadeja took it away from him. So yeah, that's
But
just
I would counter to that. So since Amanda said that you should not judge him based on this game, and he has been doing well for RCB, but you also got to factor in that he was bowling when he was bowling in Chennai. That pitch is not as good to the batsman. It's a much better deck for bowlers to bowl at. So a good bowler would be judged not just playing on one particular pitch, but at different sort of pitches and different conditions. And Wankhede is one such pitch where actually bowlers are struggling. So
Yeah.
on a batting pitch, if he's going for these many runs, and you said we should not blame him, but okay, there could be a couple of good shots from Jadeja on good balls, but he also dished out a couple of full tosses, a waist height no ball as well. So you have to fact if you're not blaming him for today's performance, then maybe you should also not overrate the performances that came before on pitches that were not that great for batting.
See, but Chennai pitches usually favor spinners, and the fact that he's a fast bowler and he took a fifer
But
against.
Amanda, there's this another stat which I just saw today that surprisingly this year on Chennai pitches, pacers have taken more wickets than spinners. So it just happened to be like this this season.
It's pretty odd season. Yeah.
Well, I think this is great. I mean, look at that. Gee, this is like a fan fight.
CSK versus RCB still not over.
Yeah, where is Davis Days? I mean, I wanted to know his reaction because he's been supporting Chennai Super Kings. And
He's very smug. He's very, very smug. He's very smug at the moment.
yeah, I mean, he would be. That's why I wanted to make him his day today. I mean, he gets his tour and he must be very happy. So, really,
He's had
today.
an emergency, guys. Something's happened. They didn't believe it very quickly. His words were.
Yeah, no. I would take his reaction later. I will put it online. I think he would be chuffed. But this is great. I mean, the fan fight. Let's get more of that. Continue.
Well, let's black.
Me and Norman
Don't
will have a
forget-
go later.
But both Apana and I. Well, I'm a KKR fan, but DC is my team for this season. Whereas Apana is a DC person through and through, having lived her life in Delhi. So the reality is we have got some. Well, at least we've got the top three sides here, haven't we? Delhi Capitals,
Yeah.
RCB, and CSK. The only person we haven't got here is a Mumbai Indians fan. But look, I personally don't think Mumbai Indians are going to win this year at all.
I
I
don't
think
think so
they're
either.
going to be still in the top four, but they're not going to win. It's going to be between Delhi Capitals, RCB, and CSK. What's your thoughts, guys?
I mean, yeah, I think DC do have the ability to make it into the finals. They did, as we saw last year. They've been a pretty set team over the last couple of years because I think earlier DC were just taken for granted. They were that team that every team had to beat. So DC has really has worked on all departments, batting, bowling, and fielding, and I think I'm really impressed. I think since Ricky Ponting's come in as well, he's given the guys a lot of confidence, given the guys some golden advice, and also yeah, and this year I think DC are doing extremely well under Rishabh Pant's captaincy, considering the fact that they lost Shreyas Iyer. Rishabh Pant, I think he's the youngest captain, if I'm not wrong. I think he's doing extremely well. He's settling in. He's mostly, making decisions based on what Ricky Ponting says. But I think DC have done really, really well, and they definitely have a chance. But then there's also RCB and CSK. Hopefully, RCB don't lose a couple more matches on the trot. We need to bag a couple of points and hopefully make it into the top two.
Yeah, definitely looking for the match tomorrow for Delhi Capitals. All in for Delhi Capitals. But Norman, to you, quite a task for the KKR management to sort out the batting problems that they've been facing. What do you think about that?
It's extremely frustrating. Both KKR and, for that matter, SRH, both teams have got very frustrating batting problems. I mean, KKR, in fact, it's a captaincy issue between KKR and SRH. Warner probably should be superseded by Williamson. It may not happen, but it should be. And you know what? They don't have to actually announce a different captain. They can change the mood of the captaincy in the leadership group without actually titling that person as a captain. What I mean is, it may appear destabilising from an outside point of view, but Williamson will take more and more of a captaincy role on anyway with Bearso. He may not be given that C next to his name, but you'll see that happen. KKR, they're at odds. Brendan McCullum and Alan Morgan are at odds with each other. They both have different styles of running a team, and it's surely is showing effects of strain. For God's sake, listen to me, KKR. I'm online to tell you right now, Owen Morgan needs to be given a break from captaincy. Allow him to go out there and bat freely. It may change the whole makeup. Allow that change to occur. I'm not exactly sure who you would give the captaincy to, but they need to consider that so as to free Owen Morgan up, because I don't think he's allowing himself to be free in his batting.
I would agree.
See, with DC, I thought today they were lucky. I think it was a jailbreak for them. Warner's decision to not send Bairstow in the Super Over, and then coming himself to bat, and then that one-run shot, I think that's what cost them the game. So DC was kind of lucky today. Rishabh Pant as a captain, I wouldn't rate him as yet, because he has actually done a couple of blunders, not giving Vokes 1 over in one of the previous games, then not giving Ashwin his 4th over in one of the games they lost actually to Rajasthan. So DC seems to be a team that is coach driven rather than captain driven. So whether it was Shreyas Iyer before or whether it's Rishabh Pant now, I think most of the shots would be called by Ricky Ponting. It seems so, because you notice a team, whether it's captain driven or coach driven. Like CSK, it's completely captain driven, and Stephen Fleming seems to be taking the back seat all the time, and he only appears in the press conferences after the game. But otherwise, it seems like Dhoni is making all the decisions there. And at DC, if you see, it's Ricky Ponting who seems to be at the helm of affairs. So that way, I think DC and Mumbai both have the game has gone a notch down if you compare from last year, because last year these two teams actually looked class apart from all the other 6 teams. So this year, I think maybe you can say it's because of playing at different venues or no home advantage, no crowds. So that's why maybe the disparity between other teams have also changed. So DC, I don't see them in the final as well, because.
Hang on, did you say you don't see DC as a finalist?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Not the top 4.
No. In the top 2, I don't see in the top 2 in the finals.
I don't agree with you at all. I don't agree with you at all.
That's good. Disagreement is good. Healthy clash of opinions is good.
I actually think you've got the wrong take on Rishabh Pant. I actually think Rishabh Pant is leading more than you're making out. I think Shreyas Iyer was distinctly a coach-driven team with him as captain. In this case, I think Pant is a leader better than you think. He is making mistakes. He has a lot to learn. But when it comes to the crunch matches, he will step up. Firstly, through his own batting. He'll score runs when they need it most.
Don't you think his batting, the strike rate has taken a dip since he became a captain? Something would happen with KL Rahul?
Yeah, to an extent, but I would not discount the way that Pant will handle when it's needed most. He's proven that all season, whether it be in Australia, in his last matches, he wasn't captain, but he performed in a manner which led from the front, and also in the recent England series as well. So I would argue that we should be wary of Pant's captaincy is better than you think. It may not be, it's not flawless. He has made mistakes. But I think Ponting's more aware of that. I think he'll let him go when it counts most. And I think we're yet to see the best of Pant in this tournament.
Maybe, but that's the beauty of the game. I mean, let's agree to disagree, because I'm still not as impressed with Pant. Maybe he will improve. But even when Jared came onto my platform, even I asked him the same question. Jared, what do you think of Pant's captaincy? He said, looks completely out of depth. So that's what.
Well, I mean, that's a very harsh call because it's very early on. Okay,
yeah.
And I think it's clearly it has a lot to learn, but the potential is there. And I think, Aparna, why aren't you supporting me?
Well, I think it's a platform for them to speak. I'm actually hearing how much insightful information that they're giving is quite shocking. Actually, I mean, I did not realize that. What's that love for? It's like a fan fight. I mean, I just want to hear it. I'll stay out of it. I'm not fighting with anyone. But I mean, I'll support with Delhi Capitals. I'll speak when the time comes.
I heard you snoring, so I'm waking up.
What?
I'm joking. All
What
right.
did he say? I didn't even hear it.
I said I heard you snoring.
No, oh, shit. It
I'm
was
just-
that obvious.
No, she
I'm sorry.
she was on mute actually.
I know, I'm just joking. Now, Amanda, stick up for RCB for God's sake. Come on. Tell us what they will do and how they're going to smack teams towards the end again. Come on, support them.
Well, RCB. The next match is against DC. Unfortunately, we lost to them twice last year. So hopefully we break that streak. I can't see my team lose again, being the passionate fan that I am. But hopefully we strategize better. Like Keshav said,
Do
since
you
Kohli
play
didn't
cricket?
I did actually earlier for a year or two. I was supposed to go for like selections in Bangalore and stuff, but I wasn't really well that day, so I missed out.
No, you should not stop because me and Norman all support for women cricket. We have to promote it so as it gets the same status, same response from the audience. And Norman, actually, he's a great person to go to. He's the player manager of a lot of Sri Lankan women players, and likes of Shripali, Simona. I think Norman, there's a
Yeah.
rising star in the panel right here.
No. I've actually been a sports person my whole life. I started off with swimming when I was about 2 or 3, and I swam. I was just, I was tiny, so I didn't really reach state yet. And then I played badminton for the state. Actually, I was a Karnataka player in badminton, and some reason I gave that up after I broke my hand. And then I played cricket for about a year and a half. And I was supposed to go for those selections, but I was not well that day, so I
That's
missed out.
okay.
And then
You're still 17. I mean, you can still catch up.
I can, but I sort of stopped cricket because it was a 10th standard for me, and I had to really focus. But now the minute I finished 10th standard, the COVID pandemic
Well,
started.
definitely. But you can just
Well, I
never
do
lose
play.
hope when someone like Norman is there, and you've come so close to have an opportunity to speak with someone. I think Norman would be able to help you some way or the other. He's always up for promoting women cricket and great women players. He's done some great amount of work put in even with Shripali. You know Shripali, the Sri
You know
Lankan.
Shapali Ruakoti? She played for Sri Lanka for 16 years. She was opening bowler. We also had Shabnam Ismail from South Africa with Trisha Shetty. We also have Janata Shimona, who played for Bangladesh at the age of 16. She's in Australia. The likes of Rebecca Van Dort and Nipuni Hunsaker, the keeper and vice captain of Sri Lanka. The likes of yourself, the middle order batsman. I deal with all those girls. And within India, Gargi Wanko, she's actually playing at your state level. She's very close to making national level. She's actually a guest on the show very regularly as well. I try to get a hold of her today. And Winifred Durasayan, who is the captain currently of Malaysia and has been for some 7 years the captain of that country. And Ramana Ahmed, who's the captain of Bangladesh. So a number of girls that I deal with at the highest level. So if you've got any talent there, Amanda, why aren't you showing it? You could be the first women's RCB captain in the next few years if you do that. Staying on the same platform as Virat Kohli.
Even Pat Cummins heard Norman's inspirational speech and he did wonders. I mean,
Pat Cummins.
Yeah, Pat Cummins. Even he did wonders. Man, who are you? Women cricket is all in for that. You can't say no on his show, and you have to take, all credit for it because Norman can really. He's a good motivational, inspirational speaker, and he can really change the way you think, and you can do wonders. I mean, it's never too late. Let's admit it.
Amanda, I want to see videos of you batting and bowling. What are you, a batter or a bowler?
I'm a
Yes,
bowler.
Sorry?
I'm a bowler.
Okay. What, medium pace?
Medium pace. Yeah, medium pace.
Okay. Well, we want to see videos of your bowling, and we're going to promote you. We'll get you a contract with one of these new 8.
We don't want tampering of the videos. because Norman can bribe for votes as well. So we want to see live.
See, I told you, man, about the insane jealousy of my good looks on my polls. Aparna, you only scored 8%.
Let me do that pose.
8%.
Wait, are we
Well, I
live
haven't
right
been
now?
on that much, I think.
Sorry?
You've got big fan following for your charm that you have shown more than me. So let me give you have a fair crack at it, and then we do the polls again. And no bribing this time.
How can you rig up? You can't rig polls. It's the public that vote. I can't vote. I haven't got.
Or
I
we will
haven't
go to
got any
Kuji
bots. Huh?
and we'll ask people live recording and voting.
Are you claiming that I rigged it? How dare you say that? I'm above that.
100%, no doubt. I know you're 100% capable of doing it, so why
Oh.
not?
All right, let's get back to the cricket. Kesha,
Exactly. So
Let's
who
have
are
your-
you supporting tomorrow, Norman? Between
Well,
come on,
tomorrow is
Delhi
not.
Capitals.
No, they're not playing tomorrow. They're playing the day after, actually.
I think they're playing
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Day after is RCB in Delhi.
Yeah, so
Tomorrow is
Kings,
Punjab. Yeah,
Punjab are playing KKR
Punjab and-
tomorrow.
yeah.
Hang on.
And I'm very. Oh, this is a frustrating game, the Punjab Kings versus KKR. Really, both sides are pretty ordinary at the moment. Punjab Kings actually are probably favourites for that match. A few days ago, I said the opposite.
Yes,
I would've
Delhi
said
Capitals
KKR.
on. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Can I just interrupt? Like, you can call it a breaking news. So Ashwin has tweeted that he'll be taking a break from IPL from tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, he just tweeted, I would be taking a break from this year's IPL from tomorrow. My family and extended family are putting up a fight against COVID-19 and I want to support them during these tough times. I expect to return to play if things go in the right direction. Thank you, Delhi Capitals.
Wow.
That's harsh.
So this might sound very, very wrong timing, but I actually think they can do well without him. I actually think his impact in the series hasn't been as strong. I think Akshar Patel has taken the mantle for this series, and I'm not saying they won't miss Ashwin. Of course, they're missing him, but they can certainly play without him. Amit Mishra and Akshar Patel are two quality spinners that can actually come to the fore.
Yeah, and you know what? He played on these Chennai pitches where he was supposed to do very well because it's his home ground as well, in domestic cricket. And still he went, I think he went wicketless today and even in the last game. So if he didn't put performances on these pitches, then I don't think Delhi is going to miss him a lot in the coming games as a spinner because they already have options, as Norman also said. And for off spinner also, they have Lalit Yadav who can bowl a bit of off spin. And one of the reasons that Ashwin could have taken that decision is because this is the end of Chennai leg as well. That's the last game today and he lives in Chennai. So it would have been a bit more convenient to take a break from here on and maybe return later on in the tournament.
Well, let's be honest, the priority has to be a family in a time of crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the way COVID is going.
Yeah, today, even Andrew Ty left Rajasthan. So he has also gone home. So with Rajasthan, I don't know now. They are actually left with just 4 overseas players. They have no options. Van der Dusen is also on the way.
It's diabolical, actually. How on earth are they going?
No, sorry, Norman. I would like to say, whoever is watching this show in India, please wear a mask. Because before I've heard enough that masks just slow the process of, getting to the end of COVID and all that, pandemic, whatever you might think. Please stay at home. I think Delhi is in a lockdown. I'm not sure about all other states. We can all are in this. I mean, Australia has done it, and so as India was doing such a great effort. And even the Prime Minister put this out there that one wrong move and this is where we are. So let's not waste all our efforts from last 1 year and we can still get this under control. There has been 300 cases on an average if you see 7 days average, Norman.
How many?
It's on an average, it's 293,000.
That's staggering. Even for a
That's a
population
7-day
as big as
average.
India, it's still staggering. I don't know how the hospital systems are coping. I believe you're running out of oxygen in India, and obviously the whole process, they're in desperate need of supplies. And
Yeah.
we know that a lot of the village areas of India where there's no mechanisms for help, they must be very severely dealt with. And even the likes of Sachin Tendulkar, the parents of Dhoni, it's pervading throughout the whole of the community of cricketers. And obviously now with Ravi Shankar Ashram, his family's also in amongst it. It's quite, I mean, Amanda, how's your family going? Have you got any situations around your, all good?
In Delhi as well. What about in Bangalore? In Delhi, it's on a lockdown, so 1 week lockdown. I think it finishes tomorrow. Keshav would know. Where about you from, Keshav? Delhi?
So I am from Delhi, but I am in Mumbai right now. So here
Oh.
also, it's almost kind of like a lockdown. It's not a formal announced lockdown, but it's almost like that. I mean, the restrictions are kind of that were there in place last year during a lockdown. And in Delhi, as you said, because my family's in Delhi, so my dad keeps telling me how he's actually finding it difficult to pass the time because they're not the people who have their own businesses. They're not used to sit at home for this much time, and it's kind of like what happened last year. But I think this is a bit more worse. Although people were prepared for it because last year they found themselves in this situation for the first time. So maybe this time they're familiar with how it went last time. Actually, Adam Gilchrist put out a very interesting tweet yesterday or a couple of days ago that he said something about IPL, whether it's a distraction every night because people are in such kind of a despair sort of a situation, or is it something that shouldn't be going on right now given how COVID is affecting India? So it's a double-edged sword, isn't it, Norman?
Look, in my opinion, the bubbles that exist for the players and as I noticed a number of people are in the stands, which are part of the ownership of the team. They're also in the bubble, and people are mistaking them as being abusing the rules and not doing the right thing. Well, actually, they're part of the same bubble. So effectively, that bubble is a very stringent one. They're in the safest place as they travel around with the team. The planes have been chartered. They're in a very strong situation. Actually, there's no reason why they can't keep playing. As long as the virus is not throughout the camp, they are in the safest spot being a part of the camp, ironically. Yeah. It's actually a very safe place to be for the players, and therefore they should continue. I think the country deserves to see the cricket. As long as the players are not at risk, there's no crowds, there's no media in the crowd, there's no other interference, then they should play.
And today I saw a very visible change in the broadcast as well. Like time and again, the players from teams they put these recorded videos where they are actually appealing to people on what to do, what not to do. So there's been a visible change after a bit of a rant on Twitter last week. I think people were actually complaining that they are completely ignoring what's happening in the world, just focusing too much on cricket or the advertising, like that Tata Safari they keep talking about. So once the pressure came, I think now they're something. It's kind of like what happened last year when West Indies and England were playing, and there was a proper focus on Black Lives Matter. So there was a kind of a side campaign being run. So I think that's what's needed at IPL as well in terms of COVID, what's happening in India especially, and we saw a change today.
See, traveling from India to England is going to be monumentally hard. The players will be in bubbles yet again, but in England have deemed India as what is it, red zone or black zone? I'm not sure what the coloration is. Is it red? I think it's red.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example in Australia, and Apana might know as much as I do. The reality is that all flights from India are now being diverted to Darwin, which is the very northern part of Australia, and the camps there are like military camps. They're isolated, they're cleansed. There was even a concern about people who've been put up in quarantine in hotels because it's traveled through the air conditioning. These places are completely sealed and have complete control of the airflow. So they're landing. All the Indian flights are landing in one spot in Australia, which is amazing. And they're actually, unfortunately, finding a lot of COVID cases on arrival from the Indian flights. So I think India are in deep trouble as far as overseas travel is concerned. The World Test Championship may well be either postponed or location changed. Why wouldn't they play in Australia or New
I thought-
Zealand?
Well,
But
that's a
I thought-
main question. But again, it's a long time to go for that. Not that long, but it's an ever-changing, very uncertain situation. I mean, you never know. Australia might be in trouble again. I hope not. And just considering that, it's very hard for other countries to predict anything and make decisions. I've heard that even Olympics is postponed for more longer amount of time. They're still uncertain about that. So any sporting event, I think we should be just glad that it's happening. Whatever is happening, and cricket has been good. Must admit, cricket has been the most that has been active this year after COVID.
I think
Yeah.
IPL got lucky also. In a way, IPL got lucky that everything was in place just before this surge happened, because they had all the venues sorted out, and all the pre-arrangements were done. So the players were already in bubble as well. And something what happened last year, right? Because last year the IPL was postponed and it didn't happen at
So what
this
happened last year?
time of the year. No, I'm saying it didn't happen at this time of the year when the first lockdown happened. And this year again, something like PSL got cancelled because the situation was a bit too worse there. So we were lucky in that way that IPL was already in place before this surge came in India.
But let's be honest, the Indian situation is much worse than, I would argue, it's much worse than the PSL situation, to be honest with you. And in the case of Australia, not going to South Africa because of COVID. So I think India have rode the wave very well. But I do think the importance of cricket to India is so immense that those people at home need to be able to survive by saying something. And if the bubbles work, let's continue. Amanda, what's your thoughts? Are you worried about the tournament continuing?
No, I feel like because we did it last year, because they did it last year, they could do it again. But honestly, if IPL was playing for it to be a distraction, I don't think that's working. Because people are still going out, people are still not wearing masks, people are still partying. So if IPL was being played for the sole purpose of being a distraction, then it really isn't helping. But since the players also do enjoy playing the IPL and it's an opportunity to so many of them, it's really amazing how they've been so patient with the whole thing, and they've been able to take part in the IPL, because honestly it's a worldwide pandemic. The cricketers aren't immune to the virus. Anything could go wrong at any time, or whether they're in a bubble or not. And they're struggling. The cricketers are genuinely struggling. The cricketers and their family have to get COVID tests almost every day, almost every other day. And I tried doing it once and I was almost in tears. So I think hats off to the cricketers. And yeah, I think the IPL is entertaining because right now people are starting to realize that this is horrible. I mean, the situation is just horrible, and a lockdown is definitely called for. But again, since they haven't formally announced it, it's basically a lockdown, but just not called a lockdown because everything's shut now. So I think now IPL is perfect for us at this time.
Well said. Well said. Actually, do you want to have? I'm very keen on both Aparna and Amanda hearing some music just for a little bit. I want you to hear what I've heard. Let's say you
I
tell
would
us.
love to hear some music before I have to leave very soon. So yeah, why not? Just give me that opportunity to be a part of it.
Okay, so shall I do an English song or a Hindi song?
Your new song.
In Hindi, this is Indian platform. No. Well, something that Norman can't understand.
Whatever. Don't say that. Whatever you feel.
Yeah, whatever you feel like. I was just joking. That's my part in this panel.
So it'll take a couple of minutes for me to put my piano and everything in
Okay.
place.
While you're doing that, we'll talk on. Amanda, come on. I want to hear more from you. You've been spectacular on other platforms. Let's hear your spectacular thoughts now. Tell me, convince me that RCB are going to play well in the future. Convince me.
I mean, it's just one game that we've lost. I think, all these people out here have already started trolling them that, stuff that I'm hearing is RCB is now in their true form after this one game because RCB, haven't been the best throughout the IPL. Not this IPL, just in general. RCB has been losing, you could say, from 27 to 2019. So, people have started trolling RCB. RCB are now in their true form. This is what RCB originally is. I mean, this is who they are. Keep losing. But they're just ignoring the fact that we won 4 games on the trot. And they're ignoring the fact that we have quality players. They're ignoring the fact that we finally fixed our death bowling to an extent. They're ignoring the fact that Virat Kohli is a quality batsman. And I just think it's silly because RCB are definitely capable of winning the cup this year, considering the fact that they fixed their batting completely, their bowling, as well as they've got a couple of good all rounders like Dan Christian, and now they're just trying to fix that number 3 position, and I think I'm convinced that we could win the cup this year.
Okay. Apani, now you're a Delhi Capitals fan. Are you happy the way they're going?
Certainly, I am. I think there's some problems every team's got. There's always room for improvement, but I'm very happy. At least they're heading towards it, and I think I can definitely see them doing wonders in this season. I mean, it won't be for Mumbai Indians. I would definitely say that. But definitely, I can comment more on that after. There's only beginning, it's early days, but so far so good, and I've got so much more expected from Rishabh Pant. I mean, yeah, I do support Delhi, and I really want to see more of Rishabh Pant because of the fact that he can be an upcoming new star for such position, the way he's been performing in IPL, and that's very good to see. In Australia, I mean, Virat Kohli left, and Ajinkya Rahane came and stepped forward and did it beautifully. So, future, we need some upcoming youngsters like that, and that's why I'm in support of Delhi Capitals more because of Rishabh Pant. He's been a star, and definitely can see them. Fingers crossed, winning this season. I would say KKR needs a little bit more improvement than Delhi Capitals. I think they can come back. If I think the top order is also they need to really solve. The management has to solve. They've got so many players. Mumbai Indians, I think, it's always been known for consistency, but it's time they make some hard decisions. Wouldn't you agree, Norman? And they've got so many players that they can have the replacement, but again, this management problems. But if they do sort it out, Mumbai Indians can definitely come back. I mean, they've been well known IPL, winners. They've been plenty of time. They've proven plenty of time. Is that correct, Norman?
Absolutely. And Marlon John says, I have high hopes on DC. I've said from the very beginning, Amanda, you saw my crystal ball last time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Called the jar. Very rudely, Symmetra called it a jar, which I'm very offended by.
We'll see that one later, but Keshav is back, so let's hear from him.
Okay, so I have a couple of songs. One for the performance that Jadeja gave today, and the other one is it's kind of more like a song which is very relevant to the situation we are in. But both are in Hindi because somebody requested me in the comments that we sing a Hindi song. So don't worry, Norman. I'll give you the translation as well. But I think you will still enjoy the music.
Where's your little app?
Which app?
Where you learn? Oh no, I'm saying Norman. He's been translating a lot of languages and learning English.
Amanda, I'm expecting you to sing along at a party.
Oh. I'll share.
I don't think I know the lyrics. But...
Kesha needs backup vocals.
I don't think she would know the song actually. It's a very
all right. They can say la la la, can't they?
yeah. Okay, so this song, the first one,
dancing.
That I think Norman you should do.
Definitely. I like that idea of her. Sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
So this first song,
Let's vote.
The first song is called Mela Loot Liya. Mela Loot Liya means it was all Jadeja today. You know that he was the spot. He took all the spotlight and the limelight. Okay. जब हम निकले तो आंधी आती है, सांसें अपनी हवा बन जाती हैं, देखोगे कैसे अब रुकेंगे नहीं, दास्तां अपनी दिल से दिल मिलाती है, तेरी आंखों में है ऐसा प्यार, हमने बाजी ली मार, मेला लूट लिया, रात भर डांस किया, खेल खेल में एक जीवन है जिया, मैदान मार लिया, जब तूने प्यार दिया, दिल जो चाहे है वो है किया.
Come on, man, the backup vocals.
Norman.
कभी कोई जीता, कभी कोई हारता, जिंदगी का यही तो खेल है, दिल बढ़ा कर दिलों को जीत जा, सोचोगे तो यही दिलों का मेल है, दुनिया में आया है तो कुछ करके जा, के लोग कहें तूने यहाँ मेला लूट लिया, रात भर डांस किया, खेल खेल में एक जीवन है जिया, मैदान मार लिया, जब तूने प्यार दिया, दिल जो चाहे है वो है किया, मेला लूट लिया, रात भर डांस किया, खेल खेल में एक जीवन है जिया, मैदान मार लिया, जब तूने प्यार दिया, दिल जो चाहे है वो है किया.
Super, man. What incredible performance. This is better than Jadeja's performance tonight. You killed it, definitely.
That was an ode to Jadeja, wasn't it? It was an ode to Jadeja.
Yeah, it is. So what I meant, it's I'll roughly translate it for you. So you might have heard the term dance in the Hindi song as well. So it says Jadeja just took away all the spotlight of the day and he danced the whole night. And in that one game, he actually lived his life. You know, it's kind of the gist of the song. And then later on, I say, it's okay. Sometimes somebody has to lose, somebody has to win.
I think Norman would have understood because a lot of meaning gets lost in translation. It was heart to heart, so Norman is very close in the panel. He would have definitely got the gist of it.
That was great.
No, incredible.
It was very impressive.
Thank you.
Amanda,
that was really good. Oh no. I used to play the keyboard, but that's it.
Amanda, this is your opportunity. You could become an overnight sensation. All right. We got one more before we go back to the cricket.
Okay. I thought people might get bored, but...
No. I want to hear it before I take off. So just one more. Then I'm heading off. And I'll leave you guys for more cricket conversations with eyes on cricket.
You are in Australia as well, isn't it?
Yes. We both in Sydney.
So
both in Sydney.
you are also like a night owl, just like us.
No.
Well, it's
Yes, yes,
morning,
actually she is.
6:15. So
So you slept and then you woke up.
yeah, we start the show about 5 in the morning.
Yeah, because Norman doesn't sleep, so I thought it's the same with you.
No, he's abnormal.
I
He's got
do sleep.
intense motivation, and he gives himself the space to get out of bed. When I'm not that sort, I wouldn't be able to do it. But yeah, sleep when we get up. But you know what? Anything for cricket.
Okay, so this song, it's called, it's very relevant to what's happening in the world. So kind of like an ode to that. सोचा क्या कभी तूने ये आए तुम कहाँ से हो, जाओगे कहाँ ये सोचा नहीं रे नहीं। कैसी है ये दुनिया देखो, कैसे कैसे लोग यहाँ, तूने इनको है पहचाना नहीं रे नहीं। तूने क्या बनाई, तूने क्या सजाई, सब किया है उसने, तूने बातें बनाई। किसी का भी दिल है, किसी की भी है मर्जी, तुमने झांका है क्या उसमें नहीं रे नहीं। जिंदगी हया है, वक्त परेशान है, इसकी हकीकत को जाना नहीं रे नहीं। जो तेरा खुदा है वो मेरा खुदा है, तेरा कहाँ ना मानूं तो क्यों मुझे सजा है। कदिया तू दिल दे अंदर, कदिया तू दिल दे अंदर, मैं तेरा मस्त कलंदर, मैं तेरा मस्त कलंदर। कदिया तू दिल दे अंदर, कदिया तू दिल दे अंदर, मैं तेरा मस्त कलंदर, मैं तेरा मस्त कलंदर।
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I
That's
think that
fantastic.
was
That is and
yeah.
I shocked Tani is asking me, am I getting any of this? Of course I am. Lovely. Sensational.
Yes, it's more than just words. I mean, that was really heartfelt.
Yeah.
Truly, man, you've got some talent. Where do you find these talent, Norman? But this is great. I have really enjoyed tonight, and I really feel truly so happy to be a part of such a show where we see so many talented people. I mean, hats off, Keshav. Truly,
Thank
what
you.
a performance!
Absolutely.
Well, you're going live on the Partners platform of Cricket Conversations with a partner Sani in line with mine. And the immense popularity of a partner will help only all of us get more exposure, both on your music. Amanda's thoughtful. I mean, RCB, I hope like hell they win because I don't want to see you sad anymore. I want to see you happy. Can't be calm. Have you got a tissue box next to you, Amanda, from both?
I did actually. Initially, I did. I was actually a part of this Star Sports panel where I was coming on TV, and they record, the fan reactions every time, they score a 6 or a 4. So during RCB's innings, I just left. I left because I couldn't be seen crying on TV. But yeah, that's okay.
Even if you run out of tissues, I mean, you can use those flags which you have in the background.
I've tried it before. Yeah, I've used that.
Oh well, every team has a bad day. Every player has a bad day. So don't worry, they'll come back. And if they don't, you can use those flags. But no, very sweet. You remind me of my sister. My sister, same. I mean, she's very diehard cricket fan and supporter of certain players, so she would do the same. Um, I think that's all cricket is about to Indian people out there. It's always I've always said that, you know what, it's not just a sport, it's a religion, it's an emotion. And truly you said even in Keshav singing and your just those words express clearly it is an emotion.
No, this is
Truly
what it's all about. This is what it's all about. I love it.
Yes, I'm honored to be a part of such a sport, such a fraternity, and you know, fans. I mean, we should bring more fans. I mean, I can see so much comments going on in the chat section. I think we should open this for other people and bring them on. It's always wonderful to hear from them. I mean, that's the fan reaction. This is the best way you can do it in COVID times.
Well, let's be honest. The way Kesha actually came onto this program was literally about this time of the evening, wasn't it? You actually,
Yeah, a couple of days ago, yeah.
he just asked to come on. I said, sure, come on. Here's my email. Bang. He came on. And now he's going to be mainstay. Amanda, I'm sure the success you've had was based on something similar. And we've got, you know, Aparna and myself. This is great. So, look, Aparna, if you would like to close off from your perspective, I'll continue after, but you close off from your show's perspective.
Yeah, no, I'll leave you guys to it. Sorry, I've got commitments. It's a Monday. So I'm so sorry I have to leave, but truly I'm delighted to be a part of it tonight. Seriously, I mean, Norman, you made my day already. Keshav, you were great. It's lovely to meet you, Amanda. And fingers crossed for Delhi Capitals, which is not tomorrow. I got that one wrong. It's the day after tomorrow. I mean, it was showing in my one before when I saw it because it's just, I think the next day is on Wednesday. So, yeah. But, yeah, we'll just catch up with you guys later. There's more to come of this IPL. It's just a beginning. And hope we get to see more incredible Jadeja performance with all other cricket players from all different teams. Truly do. I mean,
The more
and
Jadeja
Keshav,
performs,
you were
the
the
more.
limelight.
No, I'm saying the more Jadeja or CSK performs like that, the more I get to sing.
Exactly, and we would love to hear you sing. So it works perfect. Fingers crossed
Amanda,
for
if
that. Thank you,
RCB
Norman.
win, you're going to be singing.
And Norman would be dancing.
Exactly.
So again, I would say thanks everyone to our viewers on both platforms, especially Cricket Conversation with Aparna Seni and Norman will continue with Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochanak. And I'll see you in our next coverage. All the best. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Nice.
Amanda. Thanks, Keshav.
Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, Norman.
Thank you.
And thanks to a lot of people who are commenting in the comment section. Thank you, everyone who was complimented on my music. And if you want more of that, you can actually go to my YouTube channel. The channel is on my name itself, and there you will find not just cricket, but more of original music as well.
What did you think, Amanda? What was your thoughts? Did you expect to be hearing music on this program?
No, I really didn't. I honestly thought we were just going to come, have a professional conversation, and then leave. But this show already brings so much. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy.
Well, the thing is, cricket's the mainstay of conversation, but I think there's another chapter to what we do here. It's bringing people together to enjoy a lot. The major audience are people your ages, okay? So they want to know about cricket, but they want to be entertained with other aspects. It's not just cricket alone. If you can bring in music with cricket, that's a great form. Aparna, by the way, her father is the Minister of Communications in India. She has a lot to do with Indian media. She is very much a person who has a lot of coverage. She has a lot to do with major programs such as Sports Tack, obviously India Today with me. We've got also the likes of ABP News. We're heavily involved with all those programs. We've been on all those programs. I think I sent you a few links to them as well. So she's actually we're very lucky to have her on this platform. She has a lot of clout. So I must say, very impressive. It's a good friend of mine. So I'm not going away, guys. I'm sitting here. I'm comfortable. I know Kesha is. Amanda, if you feel up to it, you can stay. If you don't, you can go. It's your choice.
I mean, I'm good with anything.
Somebody said Amanda will need more tissue boxes.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
They didn't say she'll need more tissues. They said tissue boxes.
Boxes, yeah.
What is she going to put in the boxes? Cricket trophies. Can you, man, honestly, can you play cricket? Tell me honestly.
I did, yeah.
All right.
Wait,
So
how
why
many
aren't
people
you
are
playing?
watching this?
Why aren't you playing?
I can't play here now.
How old are you
No.
again?
I mean, I'm 17, but
Right.
yeah.
Cricket is done.
Right now, yeah.
Can I give you a quick
Yes.
example? Rebecca Van Dort. Google that name, Rebecca Van Dort. She was 19 when she played her first game of cricket. When she was 19 and a half, she was the Sri Lankan women's wicketkeeper.
Oh my God.
Okay? And her partner, her friend, who's also Nipuni Hunsaker, was also 19 when she played her first game of cricket. 19 and a half, she was an opening batter for Sri Lanka. And she ended up being vice captain. At the age of 24, when they came to Australia, I brought them to Australia. They played domestically with some of the best players in the world in the Australian competitions. They both are now staying in Australia. Now they're qualifying to play for Victoria and may one day play for Australia. They were both 19 when they picked up a red ball, white ball, whatever colour, for the very first time. Mind you, they did play softball before. They had good hand-eye coordination. And Rebecca Van Dort, if you see her, go to her social media, go to her Facebook fan page. Her keeping is the best keeping I have, and I'm a good judge because I was a keeper as well. She was the best. She is the best keeper I have ever seen in my life. Better than men. Her glove work. I'll give you an example, guys. When you catch a cricket ball, what do you normally do as a keeper? Exactly, 2 hands back. Generally, it's 2 hands, correct?
Yeah.
That's what you're taught. She revolutionized that. You know what she does? She gets it with 1 hand and clips the stumps. So if she's running out, she's stumping someone, she doesn't get the ball and give. She actually goes boom, boom, like that.
Wow.
It's like one motion. It's okay, sure. You understand what I mean by when you keep, you always give the ball. It's a general rule you do that, right? She just gets the ball and goes bang. She's moving forward as the ball comes through. So she knocks off one bail. The bail drops to the ground with a very soft thud. The ball's also dropped to the base of the stumps. You and I wonder what the hell's just happened. She's that quick. She just goes boom, and it's gone. If you're slightly out of your crease, you're gone. She also, I have never seen her drop a catch. I have never seen her drop a catch as a keeper. Never. She even gets against the spinner. She's the best keeper against spinner I've ever seen. Down leg side, she catches everything, any side. She has this incredible cat-like reflexes. If the ball is popped to silly bit off in the air and there's no silly bit off, she's capable of catching it from her keeping position. Her eyes, I'd argue, are abnormally big, almost cat-like. There's something freakish about her. So that's an example of someone who made the highest level from the age of 19, which is usually...
Even this Indian cricketer, Shikha Pandey, she also started playing cricket at 19. Not for India, but in like overall, she started playing at 19. She was on Jared's channel and I saw the interview. So she also said, I was a late starter to the game. And so, yeah, I mean, it's never too late. I mean, you are still in school and there's a lot of time for you. Only if you have the interest. I mean, you should not force it as well. Only if you have interest, then only.
Yeah.
But can I urge you to go to Rebecca Van Dort's Facebook fan page, have a look, and go through her videos. You'll be astounded at her keeping. Quite incredible. Incredible. And even Shabnam Ismail, who is one of the leading bowlers in the world, she won the player of the match in the Women's Big Bash tournament. She lost her motivation. She wanted to give up cricket altogether. I helped her with her mental process, and she ended up maintaining her cricket. And now she's gone to another level in her 30s. There's a lot to be said about women's cricket. I've got a very big encouragement. Little Winifred Durasame is playing for Malaysia. If she were playing for any other country, she'd walk into their country's side. But in a country where cricket is not seen as the most important sport, she's been captain for 7 years. She played for the national side at something like 14 or 15. She's extremely talented. I have a girl in Sydney, Jana Shimoda. She played for Bangladesh at 16, like Tendulkar. So another girl, I'm sorry to bore you with, but Nilakshi De Silva came to Australia. She was not in the Sri Lankan mix. She was not playing for them. I got her to play with Alyssa Healy, a number of Australian players. She opened the batting with Alyssa Healy for the Sydney side that she played, and they got 166 opening partnership, and she changed her performance from being a bowling all-rounder to a batting all-rounder. Now she's in the Sri Lankan main side as a middle order batting all-rounder. So there's large turnarounds in people's form. Lakshya De Silva, another person who was amazing. I mean, very fortunate.
We should probably talk about a bit about IPL as well, because people might not relate to all these things.
But I think that's a good point, but I thought I'd bring it in. Okay, back to the cricket. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, just how impressed were you by Akshay Patel coming after, recovering from COVID, and that super over he bowled, I mean, giving just 7, against Warner and Williamson. Norman, I mean, were you impressed by the way Akshay Patel straight away came into action and delivered for Delhi?
Well, it just shows how good a quality bowler he is. When he first made the Indian side, well, he actually made it 5 years ago. He actually played in the World Cup in 2015.
Yeah.
He was at the side then. But when he returned to the side in the recent series in Australia, I didn't rate him. I thought what's he doing the same? He immediately bowled accurately. Yeah. Amazing accuracy. And he's deceptive, non-spin or bowling straight. The arm ball was phenomenal. And look, he hasn't dropped a beat, has he? Despite being COVID.
Yeah, but, I think the fact that Super Over went for just 7, you also have to blame Warner for that. I mean, if he would have sent Bairstow ahead of him, then I'm sure, Bairstow would have got the better of Akshay Patel, because even while in the main game, I think Bairstow did hit him for a couple of big boundaries as well. So maybe tactical error on the part of Warner. I can understand. I mean, being a captain, you lead from front and you take all the decisions that you want to go there and express yourself. But bit of a selfish decision also, if you will.
Yep, absolutely. If he was a clever captain, he would have noticed the Bairstow and Williamson in better form. They would have put them. He would have sacrificed himself batting and letting them bat. But look, don't underplay Akshay Patel. I think he would have actually troubled Bairstow as well. Didn't Bairstow go out first ball to him in the tests or in the ODIs? Or
yeah, but test matches, completely different ball game.
It is and it isn't. I mean, it just shows that Bairstow is vulnerable.
Yeah, but today in the main game, I think he attacked Akshay Patel pretty good. Because if you see, the same Bairstow became a different batsman in the ODI series against India, and Akshay Patel did play the first ODI. So he didn't really, not the first ODI, actually played the first T20. So, I just felt that it was wrong on Warner's part to come ahead of him, and it actually cost them the game. Not just him coming ahead, but also that short run. That was careless.
So Ashok Jatani said that, but Warner is not the selector. It's not about selection. It's about, as captain, putting in batters to bat for the Super Over. That's what we were talking about.
That call has to be taken by the captain, isn't it? Who will be bowling the Super Over and who will be going on to bat?
That was a pretty silly call on Warner's part. But, you could say selfish. But last year, the Super Over with RCB and Mumbai, actually, Virat had just scored, I think, 2 runs in the main game. But he still came out to bat in the Super Over. Virat was not in good form at all. And I remember he started off.
But then, do you think RCB had any other option? I mean, he came with AB, probably the best two batsmen in that lineup. But here, Warner and Williamson were not the best two options right now available, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's a fair point. Look, I'm still not discounting the fact that Axel Patel is certainly an important part of this team. And now that Ashwin's decided not to continue, it's almost like he's moving aside for him. Now, who was the batsman who took Rashid Khan apart a little bit today?
Was it Prithvi Shaw?
Yes, correct.
most likely, yeah.
He wasn't sent as well. I mean, I also thought once Shikhar Dhawan came out with Rishabh Pant, I thought that was also a technical error because, they should have probably sent Prithvi Shaw with Pant for the right-left combination. And also, because Prithvi Shaw looked the most fluent batsman today on the show in Delhi. Even Steven Smith could have been an option, but Shikhar Dhawan has never been that comfortable against Rashid.
Now, Aparna had to go, but she also wished Monty Panesar a happy birthday because Monty's a part of our team. Monty's very close to Aparna, also very close to Anisha and Priti. So we've got great guests on this show. You wait until you see what we've got. We've got Adam Hollyoak, Monty Panesar. We've got some fantastic players from our past. Chris Vernon, who's an amazing commentator as well. So we've got some pretty good people. So we'll get some earlier time slots for you guys. Not at this ridiculous hour. All right. So, let's look.
Somebody just asked, can anyone tell me what Vijay Shankar has done till now? I think with the bat, he has been very underwhelming, but with the ball, he has delivered, maybe because the pitches were not that great for batting, and it was Chennai, his home ground, so he knew how to bowl on those pitches. But I think moving forward, because Chennai leg is over and SRH will be going to different venues now, so there probably you can expect Manish Pandey to come back maybe, or Priyam Garg to play instead of Virat Singh.
So we're going to Ahmedabad and Delhi, and then it goes to Kolkata as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, Kolkata and Bangalore.
What was the fourth? Bangalore. Will you stand out front of the stadium at least with your mask on and support them?
I'm hoping so, but yeah, I'm probably going to.
How far is the stadium from your place?
10 minutes.
Oh, that's actually quite nearby. So can you see it from the terrace?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. But I don't have a terrace, but you can actually see the lights, yeah.
Okay. For me, Wankhede is quite a distance. I've seen one India versus West Indies T20 here in December 2019, but it's quite a distance from where I am.
See, when we get comments like this is a bit annoying. This is what annoys me about Warner. It says here, Warner says it wasn't not his.
Who's the selector? I mean, there's no selectors with IPL, right? It's the coach or the captain.
Yeah, but the captain has influence. Don't worry. The captain's not devoid of selection. Of course, if he wants certain players in his side, he's gonna support them.
But dropping Pandey was the right decision, even if it was taken by selectors. I mean, the way his strike rate actually cost them a couple of games. So that kick in the back might be a good thing for them, blessing in disguise. Once he comes back, he would know. His role would be cut out for him. So once he comes back, you might see a new Manish Pandey because of the fact that he was dropped.
Okay.
It's a brave decision, that's for sure.
I love this question.
It's a long time away from right now. I mean, there's so much.
I want you to close your eyes and rattle off 11 names. Don't think twice about it. Whatever names come, close your eyes, both of you, and whatever team players come to your head, you need to say it. Now, go. Close your eyes.
Okay, I'm going first because Amanda should go first. Ladies first. Come on, Amanda.
You know what he's doing, Amanda? He's trying to give himself more time to pick a team. No. Back to you. That's not going to work with me. Go back to you. You go for it.
Okay. Kohli and Rohit to open. 1 down Surya Kumar Yadav. 2 down Rishabh Pant. 3 down, Hardik Pandya. 4 down, Ravindra Jadeja. 5 down. It's a thinker, actually. Yeah, I will have 5
Would
down
you keep
probably.
Ashwin?
Not who?
No. Ashwin,
Ashwin?
would you keep Ashwin?
No. I mean, if he couldn't perform on these Chennai pitches in IPL, I don't expect much from him. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Washington Sundar will be there at 6. At where did I reach? At 8. Washington at 8. And then my 9, 10, 11 will be Bumrah, Shami, and Bhuvneshwar.
Oh, Chahal.
No Chahar. He will be in the substitute, like the squad, but not in the first 11. Yeah.
Okay, let me say that again. I think you got that wrong in terms of your numbers there.
Oh.
Okay. Well, let's count. We'll use our fingers because we're all human. So we'll go, okay. Virat, Rohit,
Sky.
Sky, yep. Punt.
Yeah.
Did you say Jadeja straight after that?
No. I said Hardik at 6.
Hardik Pandya at 6. At 5. That's 5, not 6.
Okay. Okay, at 5, Hardik Pandya, yeah.
6 Jadeja.
6 Jadeja. Okay, so yeah, so I think I'm missing one guy there.
Yeah, you were missing one. I thought so.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
KL?
Who?
Ayo, KL.
Oh yeah,
So
shit! I forgot KL Rahul. How the hell? That's the one missing link in the puzzle. So yeah, KL Rahul at 4, and then 5 Hardik, 6 Jadeja, 7 Washington, and again 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11 as I said.
No,
Pretty solid.
what happened to 8?
No, I've got it
Okay,
right.
wait, I'll just do it. Okay, so Rohit, Kohli, Sky, KL, Hardik,
No,
Jadeja.
Pant before Hardik.
Oh, okay. Damn it. Okay. Rohit, Kohli, Sky, Pant, Rahul,
No,
Hardik.
Rahul, Pant. Yeah.
Okay.
Pant at 5. Yeah.
Who's that?
Pant at 5. Pandya at 6. Jadeja at 7. Washington at 8. Then Bhuvneshwar, Shami, and
Bumrah. I think that's pretty solid.
Okay. So Bumrah, Shami, and
Bhuvneshwar.
Bhubaneswar.
what about Siraj?
No Siraj in my first 11.
And no Shardul?
No Shardul. We are talking about the first 11. I mean, how can you think of dropping any of Bhuvneshwar, Bumrah, or Shami? There should be ideally the first choice seamers for India.
Okay. All right.
And we have how many? We have 2 spinners.
2 spinners and 4 seamers. If as he said, if everyone is fit, so I'm assuming Hardik will be bowling.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm not putting in Shreyas Iyer. I'm not putting in Chahal. So these are 2 main omissions which I have. Not even
Iyer and Kishan.
Yeah, no Iyer, no Kishan, no Chahal, no Kuldeep, no Ashwin, no Varun Chakravarti. I mean, there are so many options, but this is the 11 that came to my mind.
Okay, so Krunal Pandya is gone.
No, in place of Shami, the only place which is vulnerable because I don't rate Shami as high as Bhuvneshwar and Bumrah in T20s. So maybe if there's a possibility that we can play maybe a Natarajan as a death bowler. So that is one option where I can see the change. So I have also named the 12th man here. So 12th man will be Natarajan. So now on to Amanda.
Absolutely. I would have definitely gone with the same team.
Exact same team.
Exact same. No, I would have put in Chahal. Somewhere. I would have put in place of one seamer. Like if you're taking Shami, I would have taken Shami and put in Chahal. But
you want just Bhuvneshwar and Bumrah and Hardik as the 3 seamers.
I feel like because 3 seamers, 2 spinners. Where are we playing? India.
You have 3. you will have 3 spinners, no? Then Washington, Jadeja, and
Oh yeah, Jadeja, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. But I feel like maybe I'm just being biased because I love RCB. But
Yeah, that's probably what you are, man. I reckon, I'm sure.
How come she doesn't have Siraj in the team then?
no, because I honestly Bhuvneshwar, I can't. I can't.
Norman,
As
same
much as
question for you.
Sorry?
Same
My
question for
side.
you. You also have to close your eyes now.
Okay. Well, there's definitely the openers obvious. I would have to say that Kohli and Sharma would be in there. You'd have the first drop. Now, I like to see Punt bat at first drop. Now, there's a reason for that because we do expect him to bat well towards the end of the innings, but he's also capable of getting big hundreds in any format. So I'd like to see him bat early on occasion as an option. But I mean, Sky's obviously going to be there. Ishan Kishan could be a slash between those two, depending on what's going on. Obviously, I would have KL Rahul and what he said, punts.
did we didn't say Kohli anywhere?
Yes, we did. Opening the batting.
Oh yeah, we did. I got a heart attack for a second.
You should
would be.
you should
No.
wash your face. I think you're sleepy right now. I think that's what it is.
No, because it's I'm always thinking I'm always thinking of who to pick as an opener with Kohli. Am I KL, Rohit, Shikhar?
Rohit
You
should
know?
open. There's no doubt about
I
it.
was thinking Shikhar.
Well, Shikhar Dhawan could all don't discount the fact that he should be in there. He should be somewhere in there. He'd be very close to the mix, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
See, in T20s, I think Shikhar Dhawan has gone down the queue. I mean, you have already Kohli and Virat. Kohli and Virat. Rohit and Virat. Rohit and
He's already got 2 Virat Kohlis now.
There is another Virat actually playing for SRH.
Yeah, Virat Singh.
who got 4 runs or 14 goals today.
Yeah,
But
Virat
anyway,
Singh.
yeah, so my point is, since there is Kohli and Rohit already, and then you have options in Rahul and Ishan Kishan. So I think Shikhar Dhawan is fifth on that list in the opening slot for India. And also, if you see, Shikhar Dhawan struggles with the strike rate, at international level, where the quality of opposition is much higher than IPL. So I don't think he'll be the first choice in the first 11. So over to you, Norman.
I mean, I also am excited about Padikkal. I think he's going to be there before too long. Well, certainly.
We are talking about the first 11 if everyone is fit.
I've already finished it. I'm pretty much following the same lines. I probably wouldn't have had Bhuvi in there. I would have Siraj. That's my thoughts. I think Siraj, some of his Yorker bowling has been amazing. And I think that he is stepping up to the mark, not unlike Punt. And he's driving and he's actually proven to be a leader of the bowlers in the Test series. So I think Siraj has got to find his way into that side. I just don't know about Bumrah's fitness still worries me. I don't think he's fully fit.
His question was if everyone's fit, so that's how we are selecting.
I know that, but I can still mention it. Well, if everyone's fit, then I should play. I mean, that's the level where we go to. I'm not fit, so that's why I can't play. If I was fit, heaven help you. No.
The more difficult question for Norman right now to answer would be if he can close his eyes and tell us an Australian 11 for the World Cup.
That's very, actually, you want me to do that? Oh my God. I'm going to say Warner, but with a lot of doubt. Aaron Finch, and he should captain. First drop. Oh, geez. It is a real concern about the. I mean, Labuschagne probably has to be in there because he has proven he can play at this format. You'd have to put. I mean, I'd have Maxwell in there. I'd have Stonis in there. I'd have, obviously Steve Smith in whatever batting on. But I'd have those sort of players in there. The keeper position. Gee, that's a hard one. Matthew Wade certainly not. Alex Carey would have to be the one to go in.
Not Philippi.
Sorry.
Josh Philippi.
No, he's not there. He's not. And if he was playing at the Open, he's not going to be able to do that. So then you've got a whole host of bowlers. Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins, even though they're test bowlers, should also be in the shorter format. Nathan Lyon, unfortunately, hasn't got there, but Adam Zampa would be the one I would put in. And Adam Zampa has been very much missing in this competition so far. And he is an excellent bowler.
Ashton.
Excellent bowler. So that's my side.
What about Ashton Agar?
No, I find him annoying.
So you're
What
going
about
with
Pat Cummins?
no? He
Sorry?
selected Cummins
Yeah,
was
he
there,
said Pat.
but are you going with just the one spinner in India?
Well,
Maxwell will do the second spinner role.
I mean, Ashton Agar would probably be in there after Zambia, but I don't know whether we'd play two. And why we wouldn't play two? Because our performance always rely on our better medium to fast bowlers on any surface. Because they are, I mean, Cummins, Stark, and Hazelwood have all played in IPLs. They've got a lot of experience there. Jai Richardson, Meredith, no. Kane Richardson, maybe. But I would tend to look for. I mean, I would also have Moses on Reeks somewhere. I think, and you got Moses on Reeks and Daniel Sams. Those two have to float around in that mix as well. You could mix those up.
And yeah, I think even Stoinis' place isn't guaranteed, so you can play around with that with these three options for that slot.
Absolutely. I mean, Dan Christian's beyond it, but he's still a player of great note. I'm so annoyed he dropped the Cats today. That was so against his normal form. So
you have completely written off Mitch Marsh.
He hasn't got a central contract. Him and Wade are gone.
What about Ben Cutting?
Well, I know Ben Cutting personally. I've known him since he was a kid. And he's an amazing guy, great ambassador. He plays well in India, yes. But if I had to pick between him and Moses on Reeks, I'd pick Moses on Reeks. To be honest.
You know
How
what
many
will
times in the final in 2016? Ben Cutting against RCB back when he was in Sunrisers, Hyderabad. I think he absolutely destroyed our bowlers and sort of lost the game from there.
But he's
Well,
I
you
think,
know that Ben Cutting, Ben Dunk, who played a bit of IPL as well, I believe. Chris Lynn, a guy called Berwick Barnes, going to be a rugby star. Those four players toured with me to Sri Lanka when they were in their early teens. I knew them since they were kids. And they've gone on.
You've known Chris Lynn when he used to have hair on his head.
And he was a really skinny kid and didn't appear to have much strength, but he certainly could play. That's for sure.
But you know, Norman, what would be even more difficult right now? We have actually put out India and Australia team, but the most difficult thing right now would be putting out a Sri Lankan team for the T20.
Oh, God. I mean, Narosh and Dickwell are someone I've always put in. But I'm more disturbed about South Africa. They are in serious doubt of being knocked out of all competitions.
Yeah.
There's a huge matter going on there with South Africa. It's an absolute mess. Or so, for that matter, a few other countries. Sri Lanka are suffering as well under that whole process.
But do you think Sri Lanka might captain Dasun Shanaka for the World Cup?
Perhaps.
Because he was the captain in the West Indies series as well.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, but they tend to throw back to Dinesh Chandimal every time.
I'm sorry, but for me, he's not a T20 player. His strike rate is.
I know, but they tend to float. I mean, they'll probably bring back Tisara Barrera, for God's sake.
I understand your frustration.
Yes, it's a disastrous selection process. They've got Tom Moody, who's not even a part of the selection panel, sitting in to listen to it. What on earth is he doing? Is he like an official who's arbitrating any fraud or something? I don't know what he's doing there. All right, I'm conscious of a man this time. The man who's not expecting to be up this late. What have you got tomorrow? Today your time. What do you got? Have you got studies to do or what?
Yeah, I've got a class at 11 a.m. So I'm gonna have to wake up.
Okay. Well, you can snore through that. Although you can't make him an excuse. You can't make him an excuse. You can't say, "Oh, the cat ate the homework," or "I had to do something." Because I'll see your video live on TV, so on YouTube. You can't excuse yourself there. You can't make up excuses. All right, guys. We might end it today. Let's. Are you in the mood to keep going, Kesha?
I mean, we could go on for 5 more minutes and then we could all end. I think we have talked enough about all.
Yeah, I think we have. I think it's been a great effort. In fact, we'll stop there. I think we've done enough, guys. We've had a fantastic session. Thank you, Amanda. Now, you're going to become a regular whenever you're available. Kesha's going to become a regular. Aparna's going to be here. Debastas will be here. And a lot more that are available. I'm going to get some stars. I'll get Monty on it when he's ready. Because he's an
And
England.
I would love to have you guys on my channel as well sometime.
Sure.
Especially
When-
Amanda. Especially Amanda on on the days RCB will be playing. On those days, especially if they will be losing, Amanda with the tissue box will be amazing on my channel.
Gotta get a cartoon of Amanda with a tissue box. You asked me to do it. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time. Well, I'm going to go to the beach again this time, Kesh, but this time I won't be going there looking for a crowd. I'm going to have a swim.
You didn't trim the video out from yesterday's stream. You wanted to put it out with some music.
Definitely. I haven't had time. When have I had time, for God's sake? I woke up and went straight to a rugby league match where there were 35,000 people in the audience.
So I have a question. When do you sleep? Are you insomniac?
I slept. Well, after this, I'll sleep now, and I'll get up at some stage, like mid-afternoon.
No, but I'm asking about yesterday because yesterday you went to beach and then you went to the rugby game. When did you sleep?
No, the rugby game was at 4:00.
Okay.
So I had some time in between. I think I slept when I was driving as well. It's hard to do, guys. Very hard to do. I wouldn't recommend it.
See, I am wide awake right now because I sleep mostly at 4:35 a.m.
Yeah, me too.
Usually musicians actually work at this late hour. So once, I finish off my stream, before I started coming on Norman's channel, so I would finish off my stream and then I would go back to working on music. And then now since Norman asked me to, be kind of a semi-regular on his platform, so now my plan will be finish this and then go back to music. But thankfully he asked me to do a bit of music on his channel, so I'm still in touch with the singing.
Well, and Amanda's going to go do her homework, and she's going to come back and be an opera singer on it. But at least she can just do a do up or something, some sort of dance or bit of that or something.
But she said she plays keyboard, isn't it?
I mean, I did go for classes earlier, but at the time I wanted to focus a bit more on my sports and my badminton because that's when I was playing for the state. So I sort of tried learning on my own. It was okay.
Well, is there going to be a duet between Amanda and Kesha? I guess there's a duet.
No, it will be a trio between all three of us.
Oh, me too. Okay, all right. I'll bring a partner, please.
We would need a bass voice, isn't it?
A bass voice. Okay. Monotone.
Yeah, well, there's no way I can compete with Kesha. We just saw how he played. I have nowhere near that.
There's no competition. I mean, everyone is different in their own sense, and we should celebrate individuality.
When's your show? When time's your show?
Who's sure?
What, yours?
I usually do once the game ends because
All right.
at that time you are usually live on extra time. So
Yeah, I'm on extra time. That's time.
yeah, that's the time clash. But we'll have to sort it out someday, maybe.
Yeah. We can do a dual platform or something. We'll work something out.
Yeah.
That's a good way of doing it. You put both platforms happening at the same time. That's what we're
Technologically, it's possible, but I'm not sure how to do that.
It's very easy. When you create the StreamYard link, you press 2 tabs. That's it.
But that happens only with the paid version. Like I don't have a paid streamer; it's a free one.
Well, I've got to pay one. Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Norman.
All right, guys.
Thank
man.
you. Thank you so much.
Did you enjoy this?
I did. I really did. Yeah.
All right. I know, Kesh, we enjoyed it. So, guys, thanks again. This is Norman Koshak on Eyes on Cricket with Norman Koshak with a bit of music, a bit of banter. Never hurts. So we'll see each other again soon. All the best, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much.